Live from the Bulldog Bar and Lounge at 54th and College, this is the High School Football Preview Show on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. Tonight's show is built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at universalrfg.com. And brought to you in part by Genesis Sports Performance. Visit Genesis at genesissportsperformance.com. And by Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue. And by High Gear Marketing at highgearmktg.com. Now, live from the Bulldog Bar and Lounge, here's John Faust and Mike Walensky.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome into IndianaHighSchoolSports.net, broadcasting live at Bulldog Bar and Lounge here at 54th and College, just south of downtown Broad Ripple. My name is John Faust, accompanied by Mr. Mike Walensky here tonight. We have a great lineup of coaches joining us, but first of all, we want to say thank you to the Bulldog Bar and Lounge for hosting us, allowing us to host this radio show, provide some great content to all of our listeners out there. So like I said, we have a great lineup of coaches tonight, and we're going to be right back after this quick break, and we'll have Coach Will Patterson joining us from Lawrence Central. So stay tuned, and we'll be right back after this message.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779. Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459. or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
I'm Mike Walensky along with John Faust, and welcome to the High School Football Preview Show on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. Our first high school football coach is one of my all-time favorite football players collegiately, Will Patterson, the head football coach at Lawrence Central. Welcome, Coach Will.
Hey, thanks for having me. I really appreciate the opportunity to come and sit with you guys.
Talk a little bit about the Bears program. Last year, you had a chance to run in the sectional. You knocked off rival Warren Central in a big upset over Mike Kirschner's first Warren Central ball club, and then took on Patrick Mallory's LN ball club before losing the sectional. You have to feel real good about your program, particularly the Mickens kid who made a commitment earlier to go to LSU. You've got a lot of talent at LC this year.
Yeah, we number one was trying to stay healthy, just getting all our horses to the race. But we did a tremendous job last year of growing up. I know we took over in the midst of COVID and had a rough start there, but the guys bought in. They've been doing everything we've been asking them to do. Program-wise, my biggest push with them was academics, setting our culture, and I pushed them so hard that our goal was to get a 3.0. Got a 3.01 as a team GPA. So just setting the stage of what a good culture is and being competitive in the classroom, and that was really the start of us being able to accomplish beating the Warren Central in the sectional game and being 2 plays out of sectional championship game. So the guys are better. We're older. Those guys that we were playing that were sophomores and juniors and freshmen when we first got there, they're juniors and seniors now. So, so we're just trying to stay healthy, get all our guys to the race. They've been doing a great job of continue to buy in and be competitive and just compete with other guys. And if you mentioned Josh, he's a guy as a catalyst to helping us be successful. Obviously, hats off to him and his family. The loss of his dad, I know that was a huge deal for him, but obviously he's using it as drive, and what a heck of opportunity to go play probably in the best football conference in America at the highest level, and a team that just was in the national championship game, just won a national championship a couple years ago. So I know he's excited. He's ready to go, as well as some of the other guys that we got that are. We'll have a few other guys that have D1 opportunities, kind of down the road. But the stage is set. We built the foundation the way it should be, and we're just continuing to build our house. So that's been our big thing in the off season, and I think we'll see some of the fruits of our labor this season.
Coach Patterson, you talked about some of your guys graduating and some of your younger guys stepping up. How has leadership changed in the locker room, and who are your captains this year?
Sorry, the guys don't know it yet, but I had them. We went to camp a couple weeks ago, and we had them vote for the team captains the first year that we've done it. I think the coaches we chose every other year who we thought the leaders were. And I thought it was important to let their teammates choose, just to see who if we thought we were right as coaches. And this year, Charles Vaden, he's a wideout. He's a kid that he does a lot for our program. He's a leader on and off the field. He's a multi-sport guy. He'll be one of our team captains. Andre Dumas will be another. Andre is just a prime example of a kid that he does everything the right way. He's a 4.0 kid. I wish he was, if he was 6'4", he would be in the Mickens conversation, because he's that type of player. He's got that type of drive. He's kind of that sawed-off shotgun type of guy and build, and he's fiery and he gets it done. He's smart, and he leads the guys up front. So Andre would be another one for us. Obviously, Josh, his team, I think that was almost unanimous. Not just because he's a good player, but Josh is also a 3.8 student. He's a big-time character guy, just always doing stuff the right way. He'll go back. His mom may say different when she's trying to get him out of bed in the morning to come to school. But he's a phenomenal kid. Just a prime example of, hey, this is what hard work looks like. This is what, if you follow the blueprint that we set for all our kids to be able to play at the next level. He's a prime example of just a kid buying into what we asked him to do. So, and our other one is Tylen Cunningham. He's another all-state guy, high-level kids, 3.3, 5, whatever he's got, GPA. Just a high-level guy. He's a high-motor guy. Again, another one I wish was longer, as he would be another high-level D1 guy. And he'll have some opportunity to play at the next level already. He's got a few offers going for him already, but Tylen's a heck of a leader. He's more of our vocal guy, getting guys in line, telling them where to be, when to be there. He's kind of the general, if you will, in some aspects of our program. So those four guys will be our team captains, but in allowing them to vote and choose and leaders, and I saw some junior guys that were right there, like our quarterback Bryson Luter, who's just I don't know if I've met between him and Ahmad Duff, who's the big-time baseball guy. I don't know if I've met more two competitive players at just what they do. They're so excited and passionate about perfecting their craft and being leaders and wanting to be the best at everything that they do. So, those two guys, those names popped up, as well as Montyre Russell, who's, it's always an argument in the coach's office. He might be the best football player in our program, just in terms of what he does for us on defense, what he can do for us on offense, and what you'll see from him on offense this year. He's we call him a monster, and he lives up to his name. He's that guy. So, one big thing, one big focus we had this year was, you know, I told Mosey in my evaluation, Mr. Barnes, that I needed somebody to push us over the edge on the mental aspect, the leadership aspect. We actually went and hired a sports mental coach, sports psychologist that comes in and works with our kids, and they take them through leadership things, and it's a core group of guys that, you know, are going to push our team over the edge. So that's what that's where we're going to see the growth, just in those guys and some of the things that we implement in that group throughout the team. And we've seen it all summer, all off season. So I said we're just kind of we're ready to see the fruits of our labor.
Well, there's something magical happening at Lawrence Township. First of all, at both Lawrence North and Lawrence Central, there are significant renovations going on at the school. In addition to 56th Street has been kind of chopped down to 2 lanes. However, that has to make you feel good. Things are really growing and happening in Lawrence Township.
Yeah, one of my tax dollars are going to work. Just living in the district, I probably live maybe 10 minutes away from LC, right across from our education building in Lawrence. And I'm a Lawrence kid. I grew up in Lawrence, so I'm Lawrence through and through. But obviously to see the dedication that Dr. Smith, our leadership, our leader of our township, is putting into our schools and into athletics. He's a big-time sports guy. I got some marching orders in my last interview with Dr. Smith. One I hit. It was, you know, going around 465 and getting a win against Warren Central. That was something that he asked us to do. So, you know, obviously we'll continue to try to do what we can to uphold that. But just the investment that they're making in our school and our kids is second to none. And it just grows. We started today as teachers, and we're still trying to put the pieces together a little bit. But our principal, Franklin Bush, he's doing a phenomenal job of leading the charge. And, you know, his message is always, we're going to meet the kids where they are. We're going to bring them up, and we're going to support them however we can, however we need to. So we're all on board, especially in the athletic room, as well as the school side. But they've been doing a great job of just giving absolutely everything they can to our kids and making it the best culture possible.
Coach Patterson, you talked about the addition of a mental health coach, which is fantastic to hear. What other improvements to your coaching staff have you made this season?
We probably got the biggest steal of them all. This year we hired Steve Mormon. He came to us from Washington High School. And obviously, I mean, a lot of people know Coach Mormon. He's storied. He's a city coach of the year. He's, you know, you name his accolades, he's got it. I think he was just kind of searching for something different. And obviously we had a huge need that we had within our program, and he's going to fill it. Excuse me. He's going to help us on Fridays. He's going to help us on Saturdays with our freshman group. He's just kind of all over. He's already in our building working and impacting our kids. They know who Coach Mo is. They gravitate towards him. He's kind of we call him Santa Claus. He's just that big, lovely guy. You know, he's willing to go get whatever kid that we feel like we may not be able to reach and bring him in and show him the culture of what it is to be a Lawrence Central football player. So I'm excited. I'm ecstatic to have him. I mean, his number one goal is to come in and make my job easier. You know, as a head coach, that's what you desire, your assistant coaches, and he wants to own parts of our program and take that off of my plate. So that's probably the biggest catch of our offseason. But we've hired a few really good young coaches that are going to help us at all levels of our program. I think what we do a really good job of is there is no freshman JV coaches. Like the varsity coaches, they coach 12 through 9. We coach everybody. We make sure that everybody's loved and everybody knows what's going on. So we'll continue to do that, and hopefully it makes us better.
Well, we really appreciate you being here tonight. Best of luck to the Lawrence Central Bears. We'll be back. We'll talk to some more high school football coaches on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Sports.net, broadcasting live from Bulldog Bar and Lounge here at 54th and College. Tonight's show is built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit them at universalroofing.com or call 317-257-0779. Up next, we have Coach Darren Fisher from Whiteland High School joining us. How are you today, sir?
We're great. Thanks for having us. We appreciate you doing this.
Coach Fisher, let's talk a little bit about the Whiteland Warriors. I've had a chance over the years to see you play, and you've had a lot of Division I talent come through there. But at this point, you just haven't had that breakthrough 5A state championship. This could be the year. Could you talk a little bit about your program?
Well, I mean, you know, I've been there 18 years, which I've been very fortunate that they think I know what I'm talking about, and they let me stick around. We've had some success. Like you said, we've won, 6 sectional championships and 8 conference titles, and we play in a great league. The Mid-State Conference is a great league, and we've had. You talk about Division I players. We've had 7 Division I players in the time we've been there. Max Sullivan from last year being our last one. But really, our program is built on those self-made men, those blue-collar guys that just punch in and punch the clock every day, and they don't walk through our doors running fast and jumping high. Usually we have to build that through our. We consider ourselves a player development program, where they're going to kind of come in and they got to buy into the system, kind of like a service academy. Our offense is system based. They learn it from the time they're in 3rd grade up. We just finished youth camp last week with 180 kids that they're all running the fly offense just like we do at the middle school and the high school. So. We've kind of got a good system going on. Yeah, we're looking for that breakthrough year, and like I said, the fortunate part is we've won 6 sectional titles, but the unfortunate part is we haven't got past the regional round because there's been the Cathedral Irish standing there all 6 times waiting on us. So we haven't been able to get over that hump, but we hope to sometime. And again, this could be just like every year could be. This could be our opportunity to do that.
Coach Fisher, to kind of ask a follow-up question about that, how much pressure or expectation does your team have this season with everything that you had mentioned?
Well, I guess I'm going to give you the definition I tell the team between pressure and stress. Stress is when you're not prepared, and pressure is what you feel because you earned it, because people expect things from you. And that's what we tell our kids all the time. We welcome pressure. We don't want stress. So our biggest thing is we have to make sure that we go 1-0 every day, so we're prepared to give our best effort. And, we've always been one of those teams that, we always try to play our best. We always want to be the team that nobody wants to play when the tournament draw comes out. When the tournament draw comes out, we want our opponents to go, oh, my God, I don't want to play those guys, because they're really physical, they're really disciplined. Whiteland's not going to beat Whiteland. And, we're going to have to beat them. Like, if we're going to get them, we're going to have to take them out because they're not going to beat themselves. And, I think that's important. This season we've got 32 seniors. We've got 15 returning starters. Those 32 seniors have been with us from the time they were in elementary school. They've been playing Whiteland football since they were in 3rd grade. So we've been excited. This is a great group, high character, high energy, great work habits. So, yeah, we're excited about 2022.
Coach Fisher, one of the things that I've been impressed by Whiteland, not only your discipline, but you're fast. You play fast. How do you instill that during practice, particularly when there's 90-degree temperature out here during the preseason?
I guess it starts being a player development program. Speed development, our off-season program is based on running fast and jumping high. It's not about how much weight can you push on an exercise. That has to translate into power and power speed. We train speed. That's number one. Number two, literally it's just an expectation of our kids. They know that if you're going to carry the football at Whiteland High School, that you got to go full tilt all the time. So it's not a pace yourself thing. It's go as hard as you can, and we'll put somebody else in, and they'll go as hard as they can. So it's just an expectation. Our guys that carry the ball, they cherish every carry because we rotate so many guys. It's nothing for us on the score sheet to have 7 guys carry the football on a Friday a significant amount of times, and throw passes to 6 different guys, 5 different guys, I should say. It's not just, the more balanced we are between throw and perimeter run and inside run, the more balanced we are, the more we win. And our kids know that, when you have an offense like ours that is based on, our entire game plan is based on how you stop one play. And how you defend that play. So our kids know that some days the wingbacks rush for 200 yards. Some day the tailbacks rush 200 yards and the wingbacks don't rush for much. Why? Because we're going to take what they give us, and that's the way our offense is built. Our kids are very unselfish and they fill their roles.
Coach Fisher, with 32 seniors on your team, how is leadership determined in the locker room?
Well, it's funny that you say that. Coach Carpenter, our secondary coach, is sitting over there, and one of the things he always says is not only do you need great leaders, but you need great allies. When a leader steps up and says something that needs to be said, he needs a group of people behind him that point and say, yeah, what he said is what we're all going to do. And, it's about being a group rather than just being a bunch of individuals. I know a lot of people do it different ways. I'm not saying anybody's wrong, but we don't elect captains. They emerge. Like, captains emerge by doing things right. And again, not everybody's built to lead with words. Some are built to lead by example. So for us, everybody's a leader. And we always tell our leaders this: culture is how you make me feel today by being here is the culture. Culture is every single day. And it takes everybody to lead. Like, culture is not determined by me as a coach. It's not determined by the staff, and it's not determined by 4 captains. It's determined by how everybody acts every day and the environment in the locker room. If I come to practice and I'm happy to be there, number one, we're going to get better as a team. And number two, we're all going to like being there. So, to us, leadership is a shared experience, and culture is an everybody thing, not just a group of captains.
Darren, this is your 32nd year coaching high school football. One of the things I've thought about as far as Johnson County football was the fact that 10 years ago everybody said Center Grove was the powerhouse. Perhaps they still are. But the one program in my mind that's emerging is Whiteland. You are the emerging program, number one, for football. In terms of your community, you have great community support.
I've been fortunate, for 18 years that our parents are still the ones that say to me, just instill some character, make him work hard, let us know what you need, and we'll support you. And, I've got a phenomenal coaching staff. And I think that's part of it. We all communicate very well between our parents and our coach. Like, we are very transparent. There are no secrets at our place. Anything we're doing, if you want to come to practice and come on the field, you can stand there and watch. Like, I don't care. Nothing we're doing is top secret. Nothing is, our parents feel very welcome around our program, I think. And I think that's important. And then there are boundaries. But I believe you're right. I think that one of the things that we've tried to do is not, like, we try to coach next year's team too all the time. So our little leaguers, our spring camp had 110 kids in it, grades 7 and 8. Our little school, our little guys camp in elementary school had 180 last week. We've got 120 kids at the high school, another 80 at the middle school. And that's not because, it's because we've made football a positive experience. Now, it's not all candy and balloons. I mean, it's hard, but football's hard, and that's why people like it. You know what I mean? Kids and parents want to be a part of a football program because it's structured and it's disciplined, and it instills something that you take with you when you leave. And, I think, like you said, when we have a great community support and all those things, I think that's the reason why. Because our parents know that there's a bigger mission than now, don't get me wrong, winning and losing games is really important, but it's not the most important thing. And I think that our parents recognize that you can't care about some stuff and not care about others. So like academics, we have an academic coordinator. I hired Miss Megan Pulowski, who teaches math at our place, to be our academic coordinator. Our administration buys in. We've got a football study hall during the day, and we've got, my coaches are in there, and my academic coordinator, and our parents, it's a full player, like I said, we are a player development program. It's a full experience, not just run fast, jump high, but it's be a good student, have high character, and be a leader in the building as well.
Darren, we really appreciate you being here today, and we look forward to what you do at Sectional 14. You've got Franklin, Terre Haute South, and Terre Haute North. There's a great chance you're going to move on and have a great year.
Well, I'll tell you, our trophy game, is down with Franklin down south. They beat us last year, and they beat us pretty good.
Yeah.
And, they've got a lot of confidence right now against us, and I know Chris has done a good job, and they've got a great senior class. I've heard really good things about what Coach Herron's doing at Terre Haute South. Our deal's just, my defensive coordinator, John Preston, says it all the time that, it's just a matter of going 1-0 every day. And it's exciting to look forward, but yet I'm not sure how productive that is for us right now. We're just trying. Whiteland can't be Whiteland. We don't want to jump offside. We don't want to miss assignments. We're in that day-to-day mode right now, and that's where I like to stay. I don't like to look ahead too far, but I'd be lying to you if I told you I didn't take a look when the draw came out, and I didn't take a look. But right now we're kind of entrenched in the day-to-day.
Well, best of luck to you as you pursue this high school football season. And when we return, we'll talk to more high school football coaches. This is IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Thanks for everything.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100.
Welcome back to IndianaHighSchoolSports.net, broadcasting live from Bulldog Bar and Lounge here at 54th and College, just south of downtown Broad Ripple. This show today is brought to you by Genesis Sports Performance, the official sports performance training facility of IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. Speed and agility. Visit GenesisSportsPerformance.com. We are back here, joined by North Central head football coach Kevin O'Shea. How are you today, sir?
Just fine. Had a hot one today. It was good for us.
Kevin, you've been coaching football now 30 years. Here's an interesting comment. You'll never hear this from anybody. But I don't know if you knew this. There's a Mount Rushmore in Lafayette. There's a couple people on there. One is Robert Finnessy.
Okay.
The other is Clayton Richard, now the head baseball coach at Lafayette Jeff, in my mind. The other is Kevin O'Shea. You all are McCutcheon Mavericks. Congratulations to you both as an athlete and as a coach. You've done a tremendous job. And North Central, you've got a challenge taking a 1-9 team and making it competitive this year.
Right. Well, you know, when I took the job, you know, after we'd had a lot of success at Lafayette Central Catholic, Paul Logan called me up and said, "So, you ready to come?" And this was in December of 16. And so I said, let's talk. And Paul laid out his framework for what he wanted out of the job. And after, you know, a couple of discussions, it was time to move on and go to North Central. And they'd won one game in 3 years. And we've been fortunate. The first year was a little bit of a struggle to get the kids, you know, up to where our standards. That second year, we really felt like at the end of the season we had the second best team in 6A. The problem is we had to play Warren Central in regionals, and they had a kid by the name of David Bell that was, you know, obviously if you're a Purdue fan, pretty dang good. And so they outed us in the regional. It was a one-score game until, you know, the last 50 seconds of the game. The following year, and that was our first sectional title in 25 years. The next year, we went 6-4, and we actually tied for the conference championship. That was the first time in North Central history that they won a MIC championship in football. So we kind of got things going. COVID's kind of slowed us down a little bit, like it did a lot of teams. And we are basically trying to right the ship after last year's debacle. And hopefully we get a chance to, you know, kind of get back on track to where we need to be.
Coach, so as a follow-up question to what you just said there, how do you look ahead to this season? How do you make improvements from last season?
Well, one, I think our kids have really put in the time. I've got a great strength coach in Connor Karowski, and I don't want to say just me, you know, our entire athletic program. They've really bought into what Connor's doing, and so we're a little bigger, we're a little stronger than what we have been. We move a little bit better. So we're just trying to take that and try to make up for where we have some definite youth, and hopefully a little bit of strength and a little bit of tenacity can overcome that youth until we get an opportunity to you know, play catch up. Because defensively, we've got a lot of kids back. Offensively, we're still trying to come together a little bit.
Kevin, I took a look at your roster. You've got 6 or 7 kids who are Division I prospects, led by T.J. McWilliams, the wide receiver who's committed to Purdue. I think, as I looked at all the coaches that are coming here tonight, your team and Franklin Central are the sleepers. I don't think people will think that North Central will be as competitive as they will be. You've got a lot of talent on staff right now.
We're very fortunate. You know, we've got, you know, T.J. McWilliams, you know, verbal to Purdue. He just got an invite down to an all-star game in San Antonio, Texas, January 7th. So he's going to be playing down there. Kevion Wellington is a defensive lineman that has multiple MAC offers. He's going to be playing Division I football. We've got a few kids probably playing, you know, somewhere in that NAIA Division II level. But what we've got to accomplish this year is us playing together. You know, I thought last year when things didn't go well at the beginning of the season, I didn't think we did a good job of playing together and trying to take things on together. This year's group, it's been a change. And it's been a change all summer long, where they've competed well, they've competed against each other, but with each other. And so when you get a team that's competing against each other that's good to a point, but it can't be an offense versus defense thing. It's got to be a team. And that's something I noticed. I was at the Colts practice on Saturday, and that's the one thing I noticed with them. When they do one-on-ones, they might chirp a little bit at each other and play pitch and catch, and somebody beat somebody else, they were chirping. But as soon as the drill was over with, offensive and defensive guys were all coming together and, you know, slapping each other, you know, on the helmet and that kind of stuff, basically saying, hey, look, thanks for making me better today. And that's what we're trying to accomplish this year.
Coach, so what improvements to your culture are you making in your locker room this year?
Really, it started in the weight room. It started in the weight room with kids gaining confidence in the weight room. And, you know, confidence goes a long way, especially for a young kid. The other thing that we're doing is we're doing a lot more things together. Our last day of workouts was the previous Tuesday, and we had Bob Kaiser brought his big IU bus out. We had the speakers up. We had a big water balloon fight. We had food. You know, we just had fun. You know, the water balloon fight kind of the little bit of the wind out of the sails because it started pouring down rain too. So we got a driving rainstorm. We're having a balloon fight. What we're doing is we're trying to do things together and realize that, look, you know what? We got to have fun because nobody had fun last year. I didn't have fun. I've never been through a season like that in my life. I wasn't used to it. I didn't handle it well because I'm used to winning. My coaches, we probably didn't handle it well. We're used to winning. And the kids expected to win, and it didn't happen. So this year we kind of changed things around, and I see more smiles on the field. I see kids having more fun, coaches having more fun. That's the way to do it.
Kevin, last year your ball club averaged just 50 yards rushing per game. You had a young quarterback in Heath Kaiser, who was a sophomore. Do you expect Kaiser to be your starter this year at quarterback?
Right now we got a real good battle with Heath and Brody Gibson. Brody had transferred over and is fighting for a spot. Brody's got a good upside. You know, the biggest thing that I see is that Heath has a little more experience because he's got that 7 games under his belt. Heath played like a sophomore sometimes. Sometimes he did. There was that sign of, oh, wow, nice throw, and then the other one where you're covering your face and going, oh, my gosh, no. But those are the growing pains you go through with a sophomore, just like I did with Clayton Richard when I coached him at McCutcheon. You know, Clayton, he started for me as a freshman. He had some, oh, my gosh, moments, too, as a freshman, but his senior year, he's Mr. Football and goes on to have a great major league career pitching in baseball. So I think, you know, Heath has an opportunity to grow here, and Brody is pushing him. And I'm not going to have a starter until probably week 1. I already sat the kids down today and told them, look, right now we're consistently inconsistent at that position. We're 3 days into it. We're going to be inconsistent on offense. 3 weeks from now, we better not be.
So you mentioned inconsistency and kind of the youth of the team. How does leadership play into the locker room?
It's big, and I tell you what, this really stood out to me. Our first day, we were running the kids pretty good on Monday, and Kevion Wellington and Caden Edwards, those 2 guys are our senior leaders, defensive linemen, you know, 2- and 3-year starters. We're running pretty good. Our offensive linemen, our biggies, they're dragging. And Caden and Kevion, being defensive linemen, they stood up and they said, hey, Coach, if we make this in 16 seconds, they don't have to run. I go, okay, you got it. Blew the whistle and go. And made it in 15. You'd have thought we just won the Super Bowl, you know, because the biggies, they didn't have, you know, the 300-pounders running the width of the field and back, you know, a couple, you know, 2 or 3 times in that heat. It's hard. The biggies thought, I mean, it was great. So what it did, took the offensive guys and the defensive guys and brought them together. That's leadership. That's what we need. And we've got a good core of senior guys that have taken, that are verbal leaders. You know, it was nothing against last year's group. They were just quiet. This year's group, they're not afraid to say something, which means Coach O'Shea isn't the one that's yelling all the time. I don't have to do that. That's a good thing. Good thing for them, and it's a good thing for me.
Kevin, we really appreciate you being here. Best of luck to the North Central Panthers this year as you roll into the 2022 season. And when we return, we'll take a look at some more high school football coaches on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com. Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Welcome back into IndianaHighSchoolSports.net, broadcasting live from Bulldog Bar and Lounge here at 54th and College, just south of downtown Broad Ripple. Tonight's show is built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit them at universalroofing.com or call 317-257-0779. We are joined today by Mr. Eric Quintana, Roncalli coach, his first year. Coach, how are you doing today?
Doing great. It's I've been to the Bulldog in a while since it's been, but it's a beautiful spot, and I appreciate you guys having me on. Really appreciate it.
We appreciate you being here.
Thanks.
Eric, when I think about you, whether you remember this or not, I actually met you when you were an assistant at Chittard, and you come from a program that has a lot of tradition, competitiveness, and they do it the right way, and you take over a Roncalli program that also has that tradition success. But last year they fell short to Mount Vernon, a team that won the state championship in Class 4A. But I think this year you are absolutely loaded with talent.
Yes, we got a great football team. We got a great group of seniors that know how to win. They've won a lot of games, and I just love to bring my way of coaching and try to input what I've known and what I've done in the past. And so far the summer's been going well, and I'm extremely excited for the season to start. As an understatement, I'm really excited with this group of guys we got.
Coach, tell us about the expectations of your first year here at Roncalli. Do you feel pressure, or how are you feeling?
Yeah, no pressure at all. The administration is extremely fantastic. Our AD, David Lauk, is great. Football guy, sports guy. Our principal, Kevin Bonich, is a longtime football coach, football player at Roncalli. So the expectation is there. And it's good for me because I set the expectation high on everything I do. I want to be extremely good at all aspects of everything in my life. So, and this is the main, other than my family, this is the mainstay. So the expectation is high. Don't get me wrong. We're gunning for a state championship. There's no question about that.
Eric, you have two outstanding linemen, in my mind, could be bookends. Sam Seacrest, 6'6", 297, committed to Louisville, and Trevor Lauk, 6'6", 287, going to Iowa. So you've got some guys up front who are big and strong. So from a mentality standpoint, where does that put you in preseason? How hard are these kids working right now?
Yeah, actually, Sam graduated last year. He was a senior last year, but we have a great group of guys that have played a lot of football up front, led by Trevor and Luke Scartweet, who will take over that spot. And we got three guys that are already committed to Division I schools. So those guys set the expectation that I've already instilled on them. They're working extremely hard. they're taking that group of big guys up front, and we've been working hard, and they know where the team lies. The team lies behind those big guys, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that is the successful piece in the backbone of our team, and they've taken it, and they're running with it, and they're working their tails off.
Coach, talk about the culture that you're cultivating in your first year at Roncalli.
Yeah, one thing that I've learned from the previous guys, especially from Rob, who's at Chittard now, is two big things. We want to be the toughest team on the field when we play, and we want to be the team that's in shape the most. So we set that expectation, and we talk about standards. Our standards are always set high. Everything we do, from football to being good young men off the field to being students, we set that expectation high. So that culture is instilled from day one, and our guys have accepted that, and they've had that with the previous coach. John Rodenberg had the same culture, so there wasn't much that I needed to change. It was just seeing a new face, new energy, and the culture is ready to go. We're excited and ready to start, so it's awesome.
Coach, last year Luke Hansen ran for over 1,458 yards, 17 touchdowns, 5'11", 190 pounds. Are you going to make any changes offensively for the Royals? And this is a program that at one time were the Rebels, and now you're the Royals.
Yes, that's right. That's right. We are the Roncalli Royals now, and you know, the spread game that they've done in the past is similar to what we've brought and what I've brought into the staff. So not much of a change. Luke Hansen is going to be known for a lot of weeks around not just Central Indiana, but Indiana in total. He's a great football player, and you're going to see his name a lot around the media.
Coach, what other coaching improvements has the team made with your arrival?
Yeah, they've had a great core of staff members on staff there, and we've retained a lot of them. I added a couple guys, and they added a couple guys in the winter, spring semesters. Some good guys that have been part of good programs. Dan Harris, who was at Ben Davis, Matt Taylor, who was at Franklin, and they came on board at semester, and those guys are great defensive guys. And Brock Dotson, who was with me at Chittard, was a very valued member of our defensive staff, and so he's came aboard, and our defensive staff has gelled. Now, you know, we put black jerseys on those guys when we practice, and there's a reason for that. So not just our offense is very talented, and they've been played a lot of games, but our defense is extremely nasty, led by Luke Schwartz, especially. So we're excited. Our staff has gelled. Our staff has been awesome, and I can't wait to just get after it and start working.
Eric, you're in a really competitive sectional tournament this year. Sectional 21, Rebuff, Lebanon, Mooresville. Mike Gillen's done a great job there. Coach Rates has done a real nice job at Northview. But I'm sure that your sights are set on the ceiling, and that's going to and winning a state championship.
Yes, no doubt. Yes, and our sectional is extremely talented. There's really good football teams in there. We just worry about ourselves, and that's the big thing that we preach to our team. We want to get better, not just each week, not each day, but each rep. And that was the message to our guys today. Every time we step on the field in any sort of segment, we're getting better, and that's what we're focused on. Whoever comes across each week, we're going to get after them, and we're going to play hard, and we're going to play physical, and we're going to play Roncalli football, and that's all we can control. So whatever the sectional, regional, semi-state, whatever those draws are, we're going to take it, and we're going to get after them, and we're going to play hard, and we're going to win a lot of football games.
Coach, how did you determine your captains moving into this season?
Yeah, so we're still in the beginning phases of that. Just being new in the program, I wanted to take my time with that because that's a very important piece of the football culture and the football team. So I'm still learning from guys, and guys are still learning from me. And how we do it is most of it's a team vote, but obviously I think we all know that the coaches have a say in that stuff. But we have a group of seniors that are extremely talented, extremely hardworking, and it's going to be tough to pick just a couple. So we'll see how it goes here in the next week.
Coach, really appreciate you being here. Look forward to seeing the Roncalli Royals annex their 11th state championship. You've done a great job in that program at Chittard, and hopefully you'll be able to continue that success at Roncalli.
Great. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys having me here. Thanks to Pete for getting this set up, and I appreciate you guys.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Race Gilman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Race Gilman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or racegilmanshadeland.com.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Highschoolsports.net. Here, broadcasting live from Bulldog Bar and Lounge, located at 54th and College, here in Broad Ripple. Tonight's broadcast is brought to you by Genesis Sports Performance, the official sports performance training facility of Indiana Highschoolsports.net. Speed and agility? Visit GenesisSportsPerformance.com. Well, joining us now is Coach Vince Leidy from Mount Vernon, coming off of a state championship. Coach, welcome. How do you look ahead to this season coming off of the ultimate victory?
Oh, well, it's a great 2021 was a great year, as a program and for the history of the school. And, it was great, obviously hosting the trophy up. Then we got in the off season, and, I've been sending out, talking to the players, especially all the kids that played a lot and coming back. There's a huge challenge in front of us to go out and have another good year and get better each week. But also, you got to embrace the history and the success we had, but we just can't rest on it. So we think we've had a pretty good 6 to 7 months of off-season work, and we started we started on Monday. We had a good summer. Our kids are back in school, so today was day 3, and we'll just go on day 4 tomorrow and look forward to our black and gold scrimmage on Saturday, and that'll be the first really good look at seeing where we're going to go.
Coach Leidy, you were a linebacker, and you played at Indiana University, and I'm proud of you for that because I'm an IU guy, and I'm familiar with your late father, who was also an outstanding football coach at Castle, won several state championships there. One guy that I know from Castle was Joe Huff that played for him, and I had a chance to see your team play in week 2 against Franklin at home. Everybody was telling me McCordsville in your area that, oh, this team's young, they're not going to be very good. I saw maybe one of the most wow, that was impressive. I saw one of the most disciplined ball clubs that I've ever seen early on in this season, and it told me right then and there that your team had the right frame of mind, that you were able, when you took over from Mike Kirshner, having been his defensive coordinator, to be able to get things in place quickly.
Yeah, and you go back, and it seems like forever last year, but when in week 1 wasn't the result we wanted, but we come back, and week 2's a measuring stick on how much better we could get, and we also handled some adversity with players being moved around in and out based on things that were happening out of our control. And our kids came out, and week 2 we rebounded, we made plays, we had success, and we got that first win. And it's one of those things where our goal is, I always tell them 24 hours. You enjoy it, And I hate to say it, we don't want to feel sorry for ourselves, but if you lose, you get 24 hours to enjoy it or feel sorry for yourself, and you got to get over it, because Sunday we're meeting as coaches. On Monday we turn the page, and it's ready to go for the next week. And our goal is we've got to go. We're 0-0 on Monday. By Friday night, it's either you're 1-0 or 0-1, and in the state of Indiana, we all make the playoffs. So the goal of it is you got to put together consistently getting better and better and better, and stay healthy, continue to make plays. You're strong physically at the end of the year, and then when the tournament comes out, you put your best foot forward and let it all go out, let it all hang out.
Coach, coming off of a championship, looking ahead to next season, what were the biggest improvements that you needed to make coming into this season?
Well, obviously, when this will be my 5th year, so some of those players had been coming in our program, since they were incoming freshmen, and so there was, what we had done over those first, 3 years, semi-state run, a back-to-back sectional, and then last year we had a lot of 3-year starters that were in positions to lead our team either up front, offensive line, defensive line, or in the skill spots. Well, we had huge production. So you don't replace those kids by another kid. You got to have kids develop. You got to have groups of players. And like right now, everybody knows we lost a really good 3-year starting quarterback, a running back and a linebacker who played 1 million reps every game. And we lost some good linemen. Well, our numbers are all top. We're over 100, almost 130 kids, 9 through 12. We've got bodies, we've got depth. So we're going to throw everybody we got. We can't play more than 11, but we're going to play 3 or 4 running backs. We're going to rotate in maybe 10 guys up front on defense. We're going to find ways to use our team speeds better, which is we were fast last year, so I expect us to be able to push the tempo even faster. But we're going to have to replace high-level production by individual players with probably groups of players. So that's what we spent a lot of our time, is just developing our kids, learning how to compete in the off season, and now we're just trying to find what they can do, offense, defensively, or both ways.
Coach Leidy, many years ago, one of the great receivers in the NFL from the Oakland Raiders was a guy named Fred Biletnikoff. What made Fred Biletnikoff special was his long hair. Last year, heading into Game 2, I looked down on the field. Number 81, your tight end, George Burhan, also had long hair, and now he's heading to Purdue.
Yeah, he'll be a 3-year starter. He played as freshman year. He played in the semi-state down in Memorial as a freshman. So he's one of a few players that have played for 4 years in our program. And the long hair his dad. I don't even think his dad. I'm gonna have to pay for him. I may pay his dad to here's some money to get a haircut for the kid, because it's a helmet, hairs in his eyes, whatever. But he's not the only one. We got players with hair that all over the place. But we're expecting big things from him. Had a great football season. Played on a good basketball team for Mount Vernon, and then had an unbelievable track year. So, and kudos to him for being an early committed to Purdue. I think he's glad to get that part out of the way. Just now he can focus on his senior year. So we expect a lot out of him, and him to be a leader for us.
Coach, you mentioned the loss of some key players. How does that affect the leadership in the locker room for you?
Well, when you're seniors, I'll always say it, because I've only been at large schools with good-sized senior classes, but I always feel like how your season goes was based on how the senior class goes. So last year's senior class, really good job leadership, and they pointed the team and the needle in the right direction, and everybody followed it. It all took care of itself on the scoreboard. This year, when those guys leave, and I had a little meeting with our seniors, a little dinner in December, and I basically said, in one of my little slides, a picture I put out on my little team app was a baton being handed off. Those seniors did a great job. Their legacy cemented what they did. Now, they've handed the baton off, and some of our kids, you played like George, Eli, we've had other guys like Kyler Grill, Ben Remke, Kimberly. We got these other seniors that have been playing for 2 and 3, starting for some of them 3 years. You need to lead by number one, example, but by positively helping your teammates. All right, and it's not, let the coaches coach and redirect and whatever, but keep your buddies going. Let's keep moving forward. And so we're building on that. It's easier said than done in the summer and the off season. Now when it's every day football, we don't do much in the summer. So but now we're putting day after day, we're building those blocks. And so, we'll just continue our seniors to set the example, and they've got to be leaders on the field, in the classroom, and behavior-wise.
Coach Leidy, when I think about high school football in Hancock County, I think it might be one of the best counties in Indiana. You've got New Pal, Reedfield Central, Eastern Hancock, and the Mount Vernon Marauders. And now, not only with New Pal has been a rivalry and a conference foe, but now you've got Roncalli, a team that you knocked out last year, and Eric is here tonight, and that could be very special down the pike.
Oh yeah, it's good. For the last few years, I think the conference itself that we're in, and but Hancock County, it's been good. I think right now the best thing, again, what Mount Vernon's done in the last few years, I think we've done a good job of establishing ourselves as the premier program in Hancock County. I don't even know our records combined for Mount Vernon's, but we've got to be a top 5, maybe top 4 program in the state with the amount of wins in the last few years. And then when you win those sectionals, we've had battles with unbelievable regional battles with Roncalli going back to 2019, 2020, last year 2021. Fortunate enough to win 2 of those. And I know Coach is going to have them ready to go if we get that far. But the hardest thing to do in Indiana is win a high school football sectional, especially in 1 through 4A, because you got to win 3 games for most of us, unless you get a sectional of 7. So we're focused right now on Mount Vernon. Then we'll focus on our scrimmage, coming out and looking like we practice, and then we'll get those games. And our first home game is Greenfield Central, week 3. So that'll be a great Hancock County battle. And then following week we got New Pal at our place for week 4. So we'll be jumping right into the conference and county battles right off the bat.
Coach, we've talked about players a little bit. What about on coaching? Have you made any improvements to your staff this year?
I've had to make a few adjustments. I got a really good staff. Those guys got to put up with me, and we wear a lot of hats in our coaching both ways, bouncing around like today, and I don't even care. But today, our offensive line coach he's got the older kids, so I'll take the freshman O-line. So I'm down there. We're working steps and boards and sled work, and I got one of my coaches, good for him, an assistant Mount Vernon guy, Nick Clarkson, great guy, great coach. He's taken an admin position in our corporation just as soon as last week. Well, he can't coach with us in the fall, so they've hired a teacher to replace him who's going to coach. So Coach Clarkson's out trying to help pass the baton to the new guy, trying to get him caught up. So, these guys, we're in a situation where we've got 125 grades 9 through 12. When I first started as assistant, we had 71, so we're at a 70% program improvement. And, so we're out there, doing our best. We coach all positions. And so like the other day on yesterday, we got 144 reps of our practice on film, which is equivalent of a game. Now, we didn't play a game. It's just our drills and how we build things together. We are flying around. So we don't waste any reps. We don't waste any time. We go out and we try to have a day and get something done.
This has been Coach Vince Leidy, the second-year coach at Mount Vernon, and I wish the Marauders lots of luck as you head into the 2022 season.
Well, thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us.
No problem. I love it. Thank you.
And we'll be back after these messages. You're watching IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Yeah.
Try our easy-to-use Shop by Payment tool. You set what you want to spend, and our True Payments engine will find the best matches across our entire inventory. You can even add your trade-in. You'll get customized financing for every vehicle matching your budget. You'll be amazed at what you can buy. There is no impact on your credit and no obligation to buy. Shop by Payment.
Hi, I'm Steve Hartley, owner and founder of High Gear Marketing, a digital advertising company focusing on data to help businesses improve market share and drive new customers. Are you tired with the lack of accountability from your current vendors? Are you frustrated with your return on investment? Well, my program is different. You actually don't pay unless you sell something. High Gear Marketing takes all the risk. You have zero to lose. If you're interested, text me at 317-523-4100. Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Welcome back into IndianaHighSchoolSports.net, broadcasting live from Bulldog Bar and Lounge, located at 54th and College, just south of downtown Broad Ripple. Tonight's show is built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit them at universalroofing.com or call 317-257-0779. Up next, we've got head coach Mike Brevard coming from Pike High School, his first year coaching there. Mike, how are you doing today, and how are you looking ahead to this season?
I'm doing good. I'm excited for the year to start. So it's been a great summer so far. We're just ready to get going.
Mike, let's talk a little bit about your background. I know you went to Ben Davis. You were a head football coach at Fort Wayne North. You recently coached at St. Francis, I believe, for Coach Donnelly. You come back to Pike. You got a great opportunity. You might think it's a challenge, but I think it's a great opportunity because you take over a program that's 1-9. There's not a lot of expectation. Yet, when I look at your program, there are 4 kids that really stand out that are very talented. So you could build this program and make it competitive.
Absolutely. That's what we're most excited about. I've done a rebuild before at Fort Wayne Northside, and it took 4 years to get it going. And, I mean, just each year we just built more and more momentum where I think Pike is a school, like you said, we have key pieces that I think this year could be a good year.
And you have great facilities at Pike. There's no doubt about it. I mean, they're very good.
It's way different in Indianapolis.
Coach, with this being your first year, what kind of culture are you trying to cultivate in the locker room?
Biggest thing we've been preaching holistically has just been accountability. We want, the students to perform on the field, but as well off the field. I think that's the thing. When you look at why teams underperform versus the teams that you see consistently year in and year out win, it's them holding each other accountable and doing little things.
Looking down the road in Sectional 5, you've got Avon, your alma mater, Ben Davis, Brownsburg. It's no easy task, but I'm looking at your roster. You got kids like Josh Woods, Ty Lofton, Anthony Ledford, Elijah Davis. You've got some kids who can play some football.
Most definitely. I'm excited. That was the original sectional. So when I played at Ben Davis, I mean, that's how it was. We played Avon, Brownsburg, Pike. So, I mean, I'm excited to just be competing against great teams.
And it should be a great opportunity. Could you talk a little bit about Josh Woods? Led your ball club last year with 109 stops at linebacker.
He is, as a coach, everything that you would want. I mean, he's just a leader in the weight room, in the school, on the field. He does little things like the captain run. So the captain run is pretty much the player-led conditioning. And that's something that he's choosing to do because he wants this season to be a good season. And this is a tight-knit senior group. So to have that type of leadership, accountability is huge.
Coach, so with this being your first year, what other coaching staff improvements have been made with the team?
I think we have a good mix of guys from last year's staff, some Pike faithfuls, and then some new faces. One of those will be Ty Hunt, who will be calling the offense, led a very successful program at Cardinal Ritter. We're bringing back Brent Ash, Kenny Weber with O-line. Defensively, we got a lot of guys still intact. So, I mean, it's just a good mix with old blood, new blood, and just outsiders.
I'm a little bit familiar with Ty Hunt, Monrovia guy, Ben Davis. You got some guys who know how to win.
Absolutely, and that's what's huge because, I mean, we got guys on the staff that have either years of experience in coaching, they've been former head coaches, or like you said, Ty has a great resume. And another guy on the staff, Kevin Miller, he used to be a head coach back in the day, and it's huge when you have guys that have been a head coach on staff because they understand what comes with the position, and they've been huge, very helpful. A program like Pike where you have so many players and so many different facets to the organization, those guys, they've been holding it down.
Coach, how have you seen the game evolve since when you were a player to being a coach on the other end and teaching your team?
So from a schematic standpoint, the biggest thing I've seen when I was at Ben Davis, we wanted to run the ball, and you would see tight end sets, and I mean, you got teams just pounding it, where now the MIC is more spread out, they're throwing the ball a lot more. So it's just kind of funny how the game changes because, now 7-on-7 is a big thing, where back then it's more about inside run, pounding the ball and getting 3 yards. So from a schematic standpoint, that's what we are seeing more, or what I've seen coming, outside in and comparing, my playing days to now.
Coach Brevard, this year, your conference, the MIC, as you mentioned, you lose Carmel and Center Grove, but this is a really dynamic football conference with the likes of Warren Central and Ben Davis. And of course, Center Grove and Carmel's no longer there. But talk a little bit about the fact that you've got a chance to maybe compete in that conference with other programs, and we didn't mention LN and Lawrence Central.
I mean, it's fun to compete, and like you said, each week it's a fight. And a lot of these programs have came a long way. When I was at Ben Davis, I mean, we kind of looked at it like, you know, you had Ben Davis, Lawrence, Central Grove, Carmel, then everybody else. Where I think now that make it very, you know, equal in terms of competition. And on top of that, we open with Zionsville, followed by Fishers, and you know, the Hoosier Crossroads Conference is unreal now. So I just think it's a testament to Indianapolis football, the coaches in this area, and how they continue to grow the game.
As far as Pike's concerned, facilities are fantastic. On the northwest side of Indianapolis, you have really an outstanding football facility.
Yes, I mean, it's a blessing. Coming from Fort Wayne, I mean, you still have grass fields, and, you know, they're getting weight rooms renovated now, and they're catching up. But the biggest thing is, and at the end of the day, it's all about the kids. Kids are kids. You know, the game is played with 11 players, and it's all about executing. You know, facilities is nice, but at the end of the day, you got to win ball games.
Coach, talk about the captains in your locker room. How does the leadership look for this season?
Well, like we mentioned earlier with Josh Woods, I mean, he is a big cornerstone of the program. But then you have other guys as well. You mentioned Tyrone Lofton. He's doing great. But then we also got, you know, some guys that you might not know about, like D'Angelo Welcher, Andre Pearson, that are doing great things as well. So it's definitely a mix, and, you know, we're just leaning on these current seniors now to coach up the younger guys.
Our guest here has been Mike Brevard, the first-year coach with the Pike Red Devils. And Coach Brevard, best of luck to you and the Red Devils for 2022.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Great to have you here. That was Coach Mike Brevard from Pike. We'll return. You're watching IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
try our easy-to-use Shop by Payment tool. You set what you want to spend, and our True Payments engine will find the best matches across our entire inventory. You can even add your trade-in. You'll get customized financing for every vehicle matching your budget. You'll be amazed at what you can buy. There is no impact on your credit and no obligation to buy. Shop by Payment.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Race Gilman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Race Gilman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or racegilmanshadeland.com.
Welcome back into IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. Currently broadcasting live from Bulldog Bar and Lounge, 54th and College, just south of downtown Broad Ripple. Tonight's show is built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit them at universalroofing.com or call 317-257-0779. Up next, joining us is Cathedral football head coach Bill Peebles, coming off of a state championship. Coach, how do you look ahead to this season and keep that momentum going?
You know, every year's a different year, and every team's a different team. You can't really look ahead. You just got it's a daily grind. It's one day at a time, and what do we have to do to get better? And right now, I feel like we need to get a lot better.
Bill, they say that the Wright family may be the top family in Indiana high school football. I disagree. I think it's the Peebles family. I think Terry Peebles, your brother, has done a phenomenal job at Harrison, and you have excelled at Cathedral, and I'm so proud of what you've been able to accomplish. The last 2 years, it's really difficult to take a program where you're kind of down for a couple years, and you fought back. You built a really nice program. You got a lot of outstanding assistants. I know one of them just took a head coaching job up in South Bend. You have to feel very happy about where you are right now.
Well, first of all, I agree with you about Terry. Okay, Terry's a great coach. I know you've been up in Lafayette a little bit here the last couple of years. They have a great team this year, and I certainly love you plugging my brother because I think he's a great coach. And there's not a coach that I'd rather not see in a game than my brother because I know he's that good a coach. You know, it's going to be an interesting year this year, bumping up to 6A, and thanks for the compliments. But every year is a new year, and you know, we've got a lot of challenges ahead of us. We got a lot of really good top-end players, but we got a lot of new kids that are going to be playing on Friday night, and this is going to be a it's going to be a real challenge for us to get where everybody expects us to be, and I'm looking forward to the challenge, and so are kids.
Coach, you mentioned the transition to 6A. What challenges do you expect with moving classes?
You know, obviously we have 9 weeks to prepare for 6A tournament. You know, a lot of people complain about our system in Indiana. I think our system is great because you're allowed to play the best teams. You don't have to necessarily worry about, you know, if as you're developing your team to get knocked off by a really good team, it's part of the developmental process, and you get to get in the playoffs, and hopefully you're hitting your stride once you get in the playoffs. And that's what we're going to have to do this year. And 6A is a whole different ball game. And I've coached in the MIC. I've coached in 6A, you know, Southport, and had some really good teams down there playing at the highest level. 6A is a whole different animal. You know, I tell people all the time, you know, the MIC, and I don't just split up, but if you look at the MIC, the best teams in the MIC, the 8 teams in the MIC, the worst team in the MIC is still a top 20 team in the state of Indiana. They just have to go through the grind of going through all those other teams. Every team that we're going to play in sectional is a MIC team. So every team that we're playing in sectional is going to be a top 20 team in the state of Indiana. So that, and there's no gimmies. In 5A, we had some really good competition. Decatur Simpson's been really good. Whiteland's been really good, you know. But the reality is there have been a couple games we've had in the playoffs that were easier than our regular season. That's not going to happen in 6A. We're going to have to be good, we're going to have to be healthy, and we're going to have to be hitting our stride come week 10, and that's going to be a new challenge.
Bill, championship programs tend to revolve around excellent quarterbacks. Danny O'Neill returns for your ball club. He's an outstanding leader for the Irish. He's still relatively young. Where do you see your program right now in preseason as you prepare for the upcoming season?
Danny's tremendous, and we're putting a lot on him. That being said, you know, we went into last year trying to minimize how much he had to do because he was 15 years old. He barely had his driver's permit going into last football season. You know, he throws for 32 touchdowns and only 2 interceptions. So, you know, how do you exceed those expectations? We've put a lot on his plate. The key for Danny is not to do too much. Just stay within the program, stay within the system, and we've got to trust everybody else around him to do their jobs. He doesn't have to do everything. He didn't do it last year. For him to be most successful is to trust the people around him, and he does a great job of that. But we are going to be challenged this year. We have 5 brand new offensive linemen, and we're going through the growing pains of our top 6 linemen graduated last year. We're going through those growing pains right now to getting that next group developed to where they should be. We've got some good skill players on the outside, but we're going to have to make sure we're putting him in a position to succeed. And he's really good, and the sky's the limit for him. I've just got to make sure I don't put too much on him.
So you mentioned kind of the transition of players. How about your coaching staff? Have you made any improvements or transitions this offseason?
Well, first of all, I mean, there are always transitions in coaching staffs. I feel I've been so blessed. Southport High School, Lawrence Central High School, and Cathedral High School are 3 places I've been head coach. I've had 4 or 5 of my assistant coaches from Southport have been head coaches. Will Patterson, who I think spoke earlier tonight, is the head coach at LC. He was an assistant coach when I was at LC. And we just had Frank Karzeski, who took the job down up at South Bend Adams. He was married and moved up there, and now he's the head coach at the South Bend Adams. I've been blessed with a lot of great coaches. You know, I inherited Adam Barth and Joe Sander, our offensive line coach. Adam Barth, our defensive coordinator. We've got a great staff at Cathedral High School, and the guys are going to move on like Frank, and we're going to bring new guys in, and I'm fortunate to work in a place where people want to work because we have great kids.
Talking about the kids, Jaron Tibbs won a Indiana High School basketball state championship at Class 4A, averaged over 13 points a ball game on the hardwood for Coach Delaney, and he plays football. He makes a commitment to play for Purdue. Jordan McWilliams from North Central. Jeff Brom has done a fantastic job recruiting this market.
Jeff Brom's done unbelievable. You know, Teron, it's been interesting seeing that evolution with him recruiting-wise, and that, you know, he went from not very recruited to people dabbling to people falling in love with him. You know, then you had the MAC schools, you had Iowa, and then you have Purdue, and Purdue's done a great job recruiting our area. You know, Kendrick Gilbert, who's a defensive lineman for us, is still in the mix at Purdue. I think it's really Purdue and Kentucky right now are kind of the two schools he's weighing against. And I mean, they're definitely in the mix. I think they've done a great job in the Indiana market, and that cycles, right? You know, some years IU does better, some years Purdue does better. Right now, Purdue's doing really well. They've had a really good cycle of recruiting Indiana kids.
Coach, can you talk about the culture in the locker room this season?
Yeah, you know, honestly, I think that's one of the most important things that we want to develop at Cathedral High School. And that at Cathedral, we have a saying, it's not what you get from Cathedral football, it's what you become. And, you know, at a place like Cathedral, that's not easy. Because when you come to Cathedral, you want a state championship ring. That's the expectation. You want a scholarship. You want to be the starter. You want. And the bottom line is, we have 130 varsity players. We have almost 40 seniors this year. We have 65 freshmen, so we have about 200 kids in our program. Not everybody's going to get a scholarship. Not everybody's going to start, and you're never guaranteed a state championship ring. But the process that you go through to become a great player, a great person, and a great student is by far the most important thing that we are trying to develop. And that translates into having a good locker room. And, you know, seniors drive that. But, you know, our culture at Cathedral, I think, is grounded in it's not what you get, it's what you become. And the process is important. And we wouldn't have that many kids still in our program if that isn't what our coaching staff was trying to instill in our young men.
Bill, you mentioned Adam Barth, the defensive coordinator for Cathedral. Recently, over the summer, he was awarded a national award as the best assistant in the country. Talk a little bit about Adam's development as a coach for you.
Well, I can't talk about Adam's development because he's every bit as good as I am. He is a great coach. And I'm about to say a cuss word. Our defense kicks and I'm the offense coordinator, he's the defense coordinator. They kick our butt every single day in practice. I mean, it's not even close. And I've been, you know, this is my 5th year at Cathedral. It hasn't changed. They've been kicking our butt every day at Cathedral in the summer and in the preseason for 5 years now. And last year may have been his best defensive group as a whole ever. We graduate 9 seniors. They're all playing, not all of them, but a lot of them are playing at the next level. Some of them are walk-ons here, some of them are in Division II, some of them in Division III. But what he does to cultivate the culture of those guys is work ethic and tenacity, and they know what they're doing, and they fill their gaps, and they read their keys. He's an amazing coach, and I feel lucky to have him because he should be a head coach somewhere. But I've got multiple head coaches on our staff that aren't head coaches, and he's one of those guys.
Coach, you talked about the seniors in the locker room this year. Who are your captains moving into this season, and what kind of leadership do you expect from them?
We will vote on captains on Saturday, so I can't tell you who our captains are. You know, it's interesting. I'll just talk about captains in general since I don't know who they are. Every year, people think that I go into a closet and figure out who our captains are, and the reality is, you know, this will be my 17th year as head coach. I've never had, we vote, I've never had to change the vote. Kids get the vote right. Like when you go through it and you look at it, and even I might have a different opinion going into it, but when I look at the vote, and this is whether it's at Southport, it's 11 years as head coach, 2 years at LC, this is my 5th year at Cathedral, I've never walked away saying, oh man, I can't believe they voted that guy in. I think kids get it. They know who the leaders are. You know, and you also got captains with big C's on the jersey, but you also have captains with little C's. Like Danny O'Neill's going to be a captain this year, and he's only a junior. He won't be a captain because Cathedral juniors aren't going to be captains. So he's going to be the leader of our offense. He's going to be captain of our offense with a little C, meaning he's not going to have the name on the jersey and the C on the jersey, but he's still going to be that leader, right? Because he's our quarterback, and that's what quarterbacks do. So we need as many players with little C captainship as possible, knowing that there are going to be 2, 3, or 4 guys with the big C on their jersey.
Coach Peebles, first of all, I'd like to thank you for coming on board here tonight with us. I want to wish you the ultimate best of luck as the Irish return to 6A football and a chance to win another championship.
I appreciate it. And I'll tell you right now, you need to start doing some of our games. This guy used to do all of our games back in the day, and so we've known each other for a while. And I saw him when I came in. I'm like, you got the lights up here. I didn't know it was. And I took a look. I'm like, damn, that's Walensky.
Yeah.
He's a little bit grayer, not quite as much hair.
No
you know,
hair.
And I'm the same way. And that's why I'm wearing the hat. And glad to be here, and thank you for having me.
Best of luck.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
And we return. We'll talk to more head football coaches on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at GenesisSportsPerformance.com.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Gray Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Gray Hubler Ford, promise kept.
Really? Wow. Okay.
We're joined by Tori here, staff at the Bulldog Bar and Lounge. First of all, we want to say thank you for for hosting us tonight. We really appreciate that. For those who don't know, the Bulldog is located at 54th and College, just south of downtown Broad Ripple. So be sure to come out here and have a great experience next time you come in. Tori, how are you today, sir?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just here at the Bulldog, here in Broad Ripple. You know, I'm the head chef here. So, you know, everything that, just some stuff on our menu that we offer, I'll just tell you guys about. We have a brisket that we actually smoke in the smoker, 15 hours, pulled pork. Everything's fresh. We have salmon dinners. We always have a daily special, lunch and dinner. We have 48 taps on the wall, self-pouring taps, which is a nice little, you know, do-it-yourself type of attitude thing we have going here. We also have taps at the bar. All these TVs and everything for everybody to enjoy all the games and everything.
Yeah, I thought it was a very unique concept how you get a wristband and you attach your credit card to it. You have all of these taps. You go over, you just tap your wristband, and you self pour your beer. I mean, that's a great concept.
Yeah, it's a great one. I mean, it's also like it's on a algorithm where it stops you at a certain amount, and then you have to go back to your server and ask them to reload you. Not where you can just, you know, get hammered. You know, like it's controlled. It's controlled. Yeah, you know. Like, I mean, I might do about 64 and still want more, but we also offer flights too. There's also on it, they have wine. We also have wine. There's 4 wines on there, 2 whites, 2 reds.
Now, is the consumption control, is that based off of amount, or does it also take the potency of the beer into?
It's a little both. So it does it. We charge you by the ounce. Okay. So when you pour, if you only pour 2 ounces, you only pour 2 ounces. Or like you accidentally stop it, they don't charge you for what you pour. So it's like, you know, if you just wanted 1 ounce of something, take 1 ounce of that, and it's just registers on your bracelet. So there's no minimum you can have, like that you have to get a 6 ounce pour. Now you can get your 4 flights right there and knock them out.
Right.
So.
So here's something I just learned, because you always got to learn, okay? You always got to learn. I mean, you really do. That is, this gentleman here, Torrey Walker from the Bulldog Bar and Lounge. I don't know if you knew this. He played football at Hamilton Southeastern. Now, Vince Leidy, who's the head football coach at Mount Vernon, was an assistant coach at Hamilton Southeastern, and you recognize him here in the bar.
Yeah, his brother also played with my brother in college.
Yeah, and you guys are getting younger.
Yeah, hey, you know, he is. Like, he has. He's always been fit, so he got a little dad bod, but, you know, it's the fit dad bod. Fit dad bod coach. You know, I know he will be a coach. No, he's a good guy. He's a real good guy,
So the Bulldog Bar being here close to Butler campus, how busy does it get here on the weekends or while school's in session? Tell us a little bit more about Bulldog.
So on the weekends and stuff, we'll be actually starting brunch. In this month, we'll be having brunch offering on Saturday and Sundays. With the college starting back up Butler down the street, we expect it to be pretty busy, you know, throughout the week. We'll have, like, you know, specialists with Butler and all that stuff for their students, and especially back when they're moving and all that stuff. We'll be doing certain things with them. So hopefully we have it packed every night, honestly. You know, it's right down the street. We offer, I mean, everything's in-house, made in-house. You know, everything's got good taste, quality. It's all fresh. So we hope people come, not just enjoy the beer, but actually the food and stuff also, because we have a family side over there also that's 21 and under until 9 o'clock every night. So you can bring your family. It's not just a bar. It's a family environment. We want to push also here is, you know, the community vibe and everything like that. Yeah.
I think one question we're all wanting to know is, has Blue the Bulldog made an appearance here?
No, he actually hasn't. He hasn't. I think he needs to come. He should be here soon, hopefully. You know, we have a couple Bulldog statues around here, but it's not Blue. So, Blue, if you want to come out here, come on through. We actually have a dog menu also here. We have a dog menu, so Blue, we got a pup cup for you. We got carrots for you. We have a burger. We got a chicken sandwich for you. Hell, I even give you some ribs or something. I don't know. No, but yeah.
Awesome.
You know, Torrey, one of the things I've noticed, it's just kind of a tie-in to the Bulldog here, is the fact that Butler has a new coach for football.
Yep.
They have a new coach for men's basketball, Fad Mata, and you just reopened here, and you're going to get a throng of people here this fall. I mean, you're going to see more people here than they haven't seen in a long time. And I really like the parking. Believe it or not, there's always parking.
It's a small parking lot, but there's parking all around where you can park right on the street, right up on College. Right here next to it's Broadway. So there's, I mean, even right off of 54th right here, you can park. Like it's in a good, safe distance that you can park here. And hey, if you can't find a parking spot, I'll make somebody move.
Very accessible too, because you can take the red line here too, right?
Red line, it's all walking distance. It's I think it's about like a 10-12 minute walk from here to Broad Ripple, like Main Street and Broad Ripple. So everything's a nice, close area here.
Awesome.
So.
Well, Torrey, we appreciate you joining us for a little bit. We're going to head to break, but thank you again for allowing us to be here tonight and for hosting us. We really appreciate it, and just thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, great place here.
And we'll be right back after this message with our next head coach. So stay tuned here on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Looking for training that makes a difference? Then Genesis Sports Performance is for you. Whether you're a grade school, high school, or college athlete, or just looking to get back into shape, Genesis has customized programs providing rapid gains in strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Genesis features a 7,000 square foot facility with state-of-the-art weight room and huge turf surface. Call Genesis at 386-7459 or visit them at genesissportsperformance.com.
Sam, Mike Walensky, pleasure to meet you face to face. I've done 2-year games. Clinton Prairie, and which other game did I do for you? Oh, your sectional game with Speed.
Welcome back into IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. Tonight's show is built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit them at universalroofing.com or call 317-257-0779. Broadcasting live from Bulldog Bar and Lounge here on 54th and College. I'm John Faust with Mike Lewinsky, joined by head coach Sam Corns of Traders Point Christian Schools. Sam, tell us how you're looking ahead and preparing for this season.
Thanks. I look forward to every football season. It's just a great opportunity to be together with a group of guys. The brotherhood I have with the coaches and the relationship with the players is why you do it every year. Just the opportunity at a Christian school to lean into those guys and meet them where they're at and help teach them how to be better men and better football players and better Christ followers at the same time. Just there's nothing else I'd rather do than be in White Center, Indiana, coaching football at Traders Point. So I'm excited for it.
Coach Carnes, I've seen you coach 2 football games I just mentioned off air. One when you were at North Putnam in a sectional matchup with Speedway.
Great game.
The other game with Clinton Prairie on a reschedule. Your first game rescheduled on a Saturday morning. It started about 10 o'clock a.m.
Yeah.
One of the things that I noticed about you, number one, is you're from Westfield.
That's right.
Which I kind of like because I'm a big rock fan.
There you go.
Number two. You're very poised, and you are complete control over your football programs, and I really like that. You may be the youngest football coach here that's represented tonight on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net, but your knowledge, your presence is not. It's almost as if you've been around for 30 years.
I appreciate that. I was the youngest coach at one point. That was many years ago in Indiana, but not anymore. The coach that's now at Kokomo took my place a couple years back. But yeah, I've been around football since I was 4. I've been on an organized football team every year since then. I appreciate your kind words. I always felt like as a player, I played better when I was under control and my emotions were in check. And so that's how I coach. And we've certainly got plenty of coaches that aren't like that. And it's their job to bring the energy week in and week out, and they do a great job. And for those that prefer a steady, consistent presence, I try to be that for our guys. But yeah, it's just there's nothing better than coaching football. So excited to have another year.
Awesome. So, Coach, how do you create a great life balance between religion, academics, and football?
Yeah, it's tough. We try to keep the first things first at Traders Point. We start every day with a devotion. We've got a team chaplain who's also our Bible teacher, and he brings the heat every day. He actually had me in tears this morning talking about Deuteronomy 4:9. He does a great job of helping our kids, but all of our coaches walk with the Lord, and so we make that the first thing that we do every day, and we make it a part of what we do, and everything that we do should bring glory to God. And we believe that, and we try to act like that. Of course, we fail all the time. But then at the same time, the work balance of it all, I've got a 4-year-old and a wife that I adore more than I adore football. And so it's going to be tough this year going back to work while they're at home. I've already gotten a text, when you coming home? So it's absolutely tough to balance all of those things. And I think it's just you've got to be present, and you've got to have priorities. That's why we do devotions first, so we don't have to skip it. Sometimes we skip some offensive stuff, and my brother gets mad at me for it, and that's okay. But we definitely keep the first things first, and we try to remember that football is temporary, and it's not. It's going to end one day for all these kids. They're going to have to put up the helmet one time. They're going to have to put up the helmet at the end of their career at some point. And when they do, are they going to be a better man because of it? And at Traders Point, I really feel like our coaches do a great job of making sure that's the case.
So,
Sam, this is my thought about your program at Traders Point. I think you've reached a gold mine. I really do.
Sure.
That is because there are not a lot of options for private schools in your area. We're talking about really good football programs in Boone County, Zionsville, Western Boone.
Yeah.
I think Lebanon's pretty good. Now you're in the mix, and you can take a lot of those great kids.
Yeah, Coach Pelly's beaten me a couple of times. Yeah, there's no doubt that there's great schools around us, and you know, I definitely don't go out and recruit anyone individually, but we feel like the thing that we do best than anyone in the state is that we give a kid an opportunity to learn how to become a great football player. We've got former D1 coaches, former NFL coaches, all conference linebackers that played at the NAIA level that are on our staff, and they do a great job coaching football. But I feel like what we do better than anyone is prepare our kids for football and for life by showing them how to walk with God. And you know, I don't take any credit for that individually. We've got all these great people around us, and definitely I feel that Jesus is working in our school. But what we offer that no one else offers at our level is preparing kids for life and for football while showing them the best way to go about their day, which is a relationship with Jesus. So it is great in that, but absolutely the programs around us are great, and I feel like that is something we as a private school struggle with because we're next door to Coach B at Pike and Coach Turnquist at Zionsville and Coach Pelly at Western Boone. Those are all great programs, great schools. So we have to be excellent in everything that we do so that kids not only want to be there, but they start talking to their friends about, hey, you got to see what's going on at Traders Point. And I really do feel like we have the best facilities in 1A. We have the best coaching, one of the best, and I'm not including myself, but the assistant coaches are some of the best assistant coaches in 1A. A lot of them have been coordinators in the HCC, and we offer something that other 1A other 1A schools can't in that. So I do feel like we are a well-kept secret in White Sound, and I'm excited to see the program to continue to grow.
Coach, you've talked a lot about your coaching staff. What improvements or adjustments have you made season over season?
So last year, I've been a defensive coach since Coach Bless at Avon took me on at a college. Last year was the first time I've ever seen illegal man downfield calls. We're an RPO team, and so we have to change how we do RPOs now because apparently we're going to start calling that, which is fine. It's a rule. We had 6 of them last year. I've seen less than 3 my whole coaching career. So we've changed that. We've tried to streamline the way we get plays in. We've really focused on how we can make things go fast. When I coached against my brother, when I was at Avon and my brother was the offensive coordinator at Westfield, one thing that was always impressive was how fast Westfield could go when he was the coordinator. And Coach Gilbert and they do a great job. But that's one thing that he's brought over, and we're always fine-tuning, filming our kids in between plays, showing them how can we be faster so we can try to catch the other team off guard. Because we play a lot of great schools. Coach Ray at Heritage Christian's got a great program. They'll have a great team this year. We've got to be ready to go week 1 against them. But yeah, trying to go faster, trying to tweak some of the way we do things, and on defense, trying to have a better picture of how we team tackle, not just what's one guy's job, but what's everybody's job, so that you know when you arrive to the contact, how are you supposed to arrive, so that the other guys are set up for success as well.
We're with Sam Carnes, head football coach at Traders Point Christian. Sam, your brother Ben is family, obviously, but a big influence. I had a chance to meet him a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Very impressed by his approach to the mental side of sports and life. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so forget football for a second. Ben Carnes at mentaltrainingplan.com is putting out great stuff. He's worked with all kinds of Big Ten athletes, professional athletes, tons of high school, middle school athletes, helping them with the mental side of the game. I feel like that's another thing we offer at Traders Point is he works with us for free. He's got a book out called The Focus Cycle. He is the reason I am a football coach. He was my football coach when I was younger. He's the best coach I've ever had. And when I applied at North Putnam for my first job, I texted him first and said, hey, you applying for that job? Because if not, I'm going to apply for it. Because if you apply for it, you're a better hire than me. He's awesome. I try to give him full control of the offense because he's one of the best coaches I've ever worked with. And like I said, when I was at Avon, he was at Westfield that whole time. Coach Gilbert and my brother outcoached us every time. Every game, and we won 2 of those 3 games. But every time it was like, hey, how do we stop these guys? I have no idea. And he gets it on offense, and he's a great coach for quarter. You look at the quarterbacks that he's put out at his time at Westfield. Nick Ferrer was the NAIA Player of the Year, 2-time national champion. He's got a couple other great. He's got a guy playing for the Dodgers right now that used to play quarterback for him. He's a great quarterback coach. He helps our team so much with the mental side of the game, and does a great job calling plays for us. And he's a better coach because of the time he spent with Jake Gilbert at Westfield, absolutely. So,
Coach, you've hinted a lot about the culture in the locker room, but can you elaborate more on what you instill in that locker room?
Well, it's definitely not just me. We've got a lot of great coaches. We've got 3 other teachers in the building with me, Cody Shreen, Joey Holt, and Drew Minnick, and they do a great job of working with our guys. And it starts with a relationship. You got to build a relationship first. But we work through leadership classes and leadership books in the off season with our guys and explain to them, like, kids don't know, not everyone's born knowing how to be a leader. And so you got to teach them. Just like we teach them how to run cover 3, we've got to teach them how to be leaders. And so we try to show them that so they can understand the impact that they have in our culture, because those guys that people are looking up to, they're going to have an impact in the locker room either way, whether it's good or bad. They're going to impact our culture, and so we've got to show them how to do it. And those kids are putting, they're coming out to summer, they're putting in time all season. They care. They want to help our team. They just don't know how. And so, I think that's the great part about a small school is I've got 30 kids on my team. I know them all intimately. They come to me with their biggest problems in life. Several of them are I'm one of their accountability partners. Like they trust me, I trust them. And so with that opportunity, and I think all these coaches have that, with that opportunity with that relationship comes the opportunity to pour into them and show them how to be a leader and how to impact the locker room. And I've just personally, I've seen our kids do this since I've been there, and the culture has been great for that.
And Coach Carnes, I see continued success for your program as well, and I see a lot of trust that you have with your kids and vice versa. Traders Point Christian is in great hands. I wish you the best of luck for 2022, and thanks for coming out here today. Really appreciate you having here. And with that, we'll return. We'll talk to our next head coach on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland. We'll buy your car no matter what make and model, even if you don't buy one from us. You'll get a check on the spot as fast as 30 minutes. It doesn't get easier than that. Do you need a vacation, want to go shopping, or just need some spending money? We need cars, and we have cash for you right now. So turn your car into cash at the all-new Ray Skillman Northeast Kia at 13th and Shadeland Avenue or RaySkillmanShadeland.com.
Into IndianaHighSchoolSports.net, broadcasting live from the Bulldog Bar and Lounge, located in Broad Ripple, just south of downtown Broad Ripple, 54th and College. Tonight's show is brought to you by Genesis Sports Performance, the official sports performance training facility of IndianaHighSchoolSports.net. Strength and conditioning, speed and agility. Visit GenesisSportsPerformance.com. We are joined now by head coach of Heritage Christian Football, Kyle Ray. Coach Ray, how are you doing today, and how are you looking ahead to this season?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me, guys. I'm really excited for the season. I'm always a positive person. I'm always looking forward, and but this year, I mean, it's the biggest team we've had. We have great seniors and a lot of talented players. So I'm just excited to see how we come together and grow as a team, and our kind of going on a mission. That's our motto this year is to just individually and collectively just be the best team we can be. And so I'm just excited. I love my kids, and just looking forward. I love this time of year, football season, so I'm just excited.
Kyle, you're another outstanding young coach, 43-20. This is your 7th year, and you've got a quarterback who injured his collarbone late in the season, Kyle Antoine, threw 16 touchdowns. Talk a little bit about his development coming into this year.
Yeah, Kyle has been one of the best kids we've had, just in terms of not only skill, but just leadership and just being the guy that always has the energy. Like, I've never seen Kyle not give great effort in any practice. He's the first one there almost every time. And so losing him was really tough last year. And there's one disappointment of last year. I didn't think the other team, we didn't rally around him enough. But he was the glue last year. And you said 16 touchdowns, which is right. And he only threw 2 picks. Yep. And he had 9 rushing touchdowns. So he did a great job of taking care of the football and just made a lot of big plays with his arm and his feet. So I'm looking forward to having him fully healthy and seeing what he does his senior year.
Coach, what improvements are you looking to make from last season to this season? What has been your core focus?
I think for us, it's just about practice, daily practice having more urgency. Last year, I just felt like too many times I had to get on them about just effort and intensity in practice. And so that's why kind of like we shift our focus to, we want to go on a mission this year. You know, everybody has big goals throughout the season, and that's great, individual or team, but I think it's more important to attack every day to be the best player and teammate you can be. So really fighting that complacency and just going through the motions, because you guys know, I mean, high school football it goes so fast, and to just not take it for granted. And when you attack every day and you give everything you got, I think it's just easier to, whatever the results are, you can live with them because you know deep down you gave everything you had. So that for me is just to where, I mean, I still want to have I'm going to have a large voice, obviously, but I want it to be more like the guys, they just understand this is our expectation, this is how we do things, and so that's what I want to see.
Kyle, Heritage Christian won a state championship in 2008. You had a couple stumbles in the regional with state champion Western Boone. How do you get over the edge now, making a run this year to win the 2A title? Because I think you have the capability to do that.
Yeah, it's been I felt the last few years we were good enough to beat anybody personally. Yeah. And Western Boone's a great team. And 19, they were just better than us. 2020, there was a lot of circumstances, but that game. I was so proud of our team, but we just came up a little bit short. I think for us, I mean, there's always a little bit of, you have to be healthy and maybe get a little bit of lucky, but for me, you just have to deal with the adversity a little better. Like last year, obviously Kyle went down, but I still believe that we could win without him, but I don't know if our team did, you know, and so I think part of it is that belief that no matter what curveballs get thrown your way, you can still find a way to win, because every state champion has adversity. It's how you deal with it, and so I just think you have to be able to overcome it, and no matter what happens, always have that belief that you can win. And so I'm excited to see what we do, but I think we have great leadership and great talent, and I'm just excited to see how we come together. But that's the goal, you know, to get there, to play our last game in Lucas Oil.
Coach, you talked a little bit about leadership. Tell us more about that in the locker room. Who are your leaders in the locker room, and who's going to help with the charisma there on this team this year?
Yeah, so Antoine's probably he's obviously number one. Colin Thompson was an all-state linebacker, also plays tackle, great leader. We have Tim Jackson, 2A lineman, great leader. And then CJ Opper, another 2A player, will be a captain as well, along with Christian Dora and Zach Catter-Henry. So we have a lot of seniors. And the one thing I've loved this year, they've been way more intentional on working with the young guys and developing relationships there. You know, when I was a player, like, the seniors didn't talk to you. and you didn't want him to talk to you. Like, you try to, like, hide in the locker room, and I don't want that as part of our culture. I want it to be truly a brother and a family. But, you know, guys rag on each other. That's part of the game, and we gotta make fun of each other. But I still want it to be, you know, that love, that brotherhood. And so the seniors have done a great job of taking those young guys under their wing. Because we have 20 freshmen, which is a program record for us, which is really exciting. But I want those guys to stay involved in the program and not quit after a year because, you know, it's not a great environment. But the seniors have done a great job doing that.
Kyle Ray, our guest, the head football coach at Heritage Christian. I think you've cemented your program to be very competitive right now. And I think Traders Christian kind of reminds me of a young Heritage Christian. They have an ability to attract some good football players. You're in a position where you're at 75th and Binford. You're a great location. Virtually, you can attract lots of people from all over the city of Indianapolis, Marion County, Hancock County, even as far as Hendricks County.
Yeah, I mean, our school right now is like we're almost full in every grade level, which is really cool. And I love Sam Carnes from Traders Point. I GA'd at Taylor when he was a player, so I know Sam well. I know guys on his staff well. They do a great job. And you're right. I mean, we've grown a little quicker than them, but they have the capability. And I love having them on the schedule. They're well coached and great kids. But I love being at Heritage. My kids go there, and so I love the culture, and I love the balance that I can have with my family and football. So, yeah, I have no complaints where I'm at.
Coach, we talked a little bit about players. Moving over to the staff, what improvements or changes have you made with your staffing this year?
Yeah, we've added a few alumni, young alumni, Grant Garrick and Ross Eckel. They were both seniors my very first year, so that's been kind of cool. Guys that played for me now coaching for me, and we had a couple new line coaches, Dave Cook and John Maxwell, that have both been great. I added my brother on staff last year, which has been really cool for me to have my brother on staff. It's the first year we were able to do it, so I have a lot of great guys. And Jordan Massey, he's my defensive coordinator and strength and conditioning coordinator. He's been with me from the beginning. So Jordan's kind of my right-hand guy, and we get along really well. He played football at Butler, and he's great with the kids. And so I really love my staff. They're just great guys, and, you know, we spend a lot of time together, you know. And so I want to be around guys I like, and so I'm excited. It's been a good summer, and, yeah.
I've always found that Heritage Christian's matchup in the sectional has been very unique because there are some schools that are close by and some schools you have to travel to. You've got Shenandoah, Union County, and Winchester, a little bit further drives than most. LaPel, not too far. Northeastern over by Richmond. Ritter, local. Eastern Hancock. What are your thoughts about this season and what you want to accomplish?
Yeah, it is. It's such a random sectional. I never know how to explain it to people. And we played at Northeastern, you know, and that was a long trip. I've never been there.
Long trip.
But, you know, we have high hopes. And I always, though, it's hard to win a football sectional. You know, it's a long process and it's not easy. And so that's always my focus is getting out of the sectional. And you got to beat really good teams to do that. And so, and once that happens, you know, you're down to 8 teams, anything can happen. And but for me, it is like, you know, it's coaches speak, but it's just about the process of what you're trying to become. And no matter what the outcome is, if I feel like we become the best team possible and we perform at a high level, you know, I can live with the result. As long as I know we gave it all we had. That's what the tough thing was with Cecina last year, losing to them. We didn't play as well as we could have. And that's what eats you, and that's what you lose sleep over, is when you feel like you could have played better. You know, Western Boone in 2020, our kids left everything out there and came up a little bit short. And I was so proud of them, but, you know, that's one thing. I want to be able to, at the end of the year, know that we gave everything we had. And I think, you know, if we do that, we have the talent that can't beat anybody.
Coach, how have you seen the game evolve from when you played to today?
Well, the equipment's a lot better, the uniform's a lot nicer, I'll say that. I think the game is in a much better place, honestly. I think we teach better tackling technique. We have better training staffs. We have better research out there. I feel like we take care of our kids better. And I think it's moving in the right direction. You know, when I first started at Heritage, it was the height of concussion. And there was a lot of, you know, our community was worried about it. But the fact of the way we were teaching tackling and the way we're taking care of kids and the more awareness and training, I think we've had way less injuries the past few years. And it helps when you play more physical, too. You know what I mean? I mean, that obviously helps, but I think the game's in a great place. But from a football perspective, like I played at Indian Creek for Coach Gillen, and we were throwing it a lot for back in the day, a lot more. Now everybody can throw it. That's the one thing I love is that when you go to 7-on-7 tournaments, everybody can spin it. You know, obviously some better than others, but that's where I love seeing the game, like where people are much more multiple now. You see less of just run all the time. You know, there's still schools, but you know, even Coach Moore at Center Grove, they can spin it. You know, and Coach Fisher at Whiteland, they can spin it sometimes too. So I love seeing the game evolve from that perspective too.
Our guest is Kyle Ray, the head football coach at Heritage Christian. Kyle, I'd like to tell you something. I had an off week several years back. You may have been playing for Indian Creek at the time. Indian Creek was playing in a semi-state. There were some people that came out to the ball game in trucks or tractors, and we're standing on the tractors watching the game. There were so many people out there. I had never experienced anything like that before. It was quite interesting.
And now I live in Fishers. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What a difference.
Sometimes my family disowns me. They say I have to get my Southside card back. But it is, I mean, it is kind of funny how, like, my wife went to Heritage, so that's how I found Heritage. But it is, yeah, we had tractor day, and we had kids that wore camo underneath their jerseys. You know, and it's just, I loved going up there, but I really kind of enjoyed being up at Heritage. But yeah, that story surprised me not at all. So.
I don't know if I really got to see all of the football games because there was a tractor in front of me.
Yes.
It was quite interesting. There was a huge crowd that night. I forgot who you were playing.
Was it Southridge?
It could have been Southridge. Yeah. I mean, it was just, there was probably 4,000 or 5,000. There was people flowing from everywhere in Trafalgar. And it was a really neat experience. And frankly, if you're a high school football fan, take advantage of seeing these programs play, particularly at your place at Heritage Christian. It's a great place to watch a football game.
It really is. We've the past few years, I've really been pleased with our crowd and our student section, and it is because there is, you guys know, the Friday Night Lights. There's something different about it, and it's just so much fun. Like last year, we beat Guerin for the first time since I've been head coach. You know, Coach Gilly runs a great program there, and they've killed us a lot. You know, early in my career, and so that was cool for our program to kind of. To be able to beat them,
yes.
Because for a while it was just like, can we score a touchdown against them? I mean, honestly, but that game at home, our students rushed the field. I mean, that's something I'll never forget. Honestly, I know our kids will never forget that experience either.
Well, our guest was Kyle Ray. Kyle, best of luck to Heritage Christian Eagles on a great 2022 season. Thanks for coming out here to the Bulldog Lounge tonight. Thank you. That was Kyle Ray, the head football coach at Heritage Christian. We'll be back. This is IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.
Every day is a great day to buy a vehicle at Greg Hubler Ford.
Because every vehicle comes with our Greg Hubler promise. On top of scheduled maintenance with your vehicle, you'll also enjoy complimentary roadside assistance, service pickup, and drop-off. And a free car wash and quick wash every time you service at Greg Hubler Ford.
We're always finding new ways to put our guests first.
Mosey on into Muncie.
Greg Hubler Ford, promise kept.
August 19th. First game, just the first game. Is it August 19th? I'm doing Danville Franklin, August 19th. I think you're doing Burbush Chatard at Lucas Oil. You can ask me where I'm going, I'll say, where are you going? I don't know where I'm going. Where are we going? You're going with me, right? I hope I'll be there. over. Thank you. Petard. Lucas Oil, yeah. Huge. That'll be a nice ball game.
Universal Roofing and Exteriors is a family-owned and operated business, providing care and honest service for over 30 years. Universal has always been a little bit different. Their certified and trained employees don't just provide excellent work at a fair low price. They care about their customers, simply providing great customer service. Quality, honesty, dependability. That's Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Call us today at 317-257-0779.
Welcome back in, everybody, to IndianaHighSchoolSports.net, broadcasting live from the Bulldog Bar and Lounge for our preseason show. We just got done interviewing all of the different coaches here within Central Indiana, including Bill Peebles from Cathedral, Kyle Ray from Heritage Christian, Will Patterson from Lawrence Central, Vince Leedy from Mount Vernon, Mike Brevard from Pike, Eric Quintana from Roncalli, Darren Fisher from Whiteland, Kevin O'Shea from North Central, and Sam Corns from Traders Point Christian School. So thank you to all of those head coaches for coming out tonight, allowing myself and Mike to ask them some great questions here as we get ready to get the season started. We'll be broadcasting here very soon. Myself, I'll be broadcasting the Brebeuf versus Chittard game at Lucas Oil. Mike, what about you? Where will you be at?
This will be a really interesting matchup from my perspective because we've got Franklin playing at Danville. Now, what's interesting about that is that Franklin's head football coach had been at Tri-West. Tri-West, the arch rival of Danville. Coach returns to Hendricks County for a big matchup at Danville.
That's going to be a great matchup, just like you said, Mike. So catch us soon. We'll be broadcasting those games here this month. But from Bulldog Bar and Lounge, myself, John Faust, and Mike Walensky, we appreciate everybody tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed the show just as much as we did, and we'll be broadcasting here very soon. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, and have yourselves a great evening.
Tonight's high school football preview show on IndianaHighSchoolSports.net has been built by Universal Roofing and Exteriors. Visit Universal at universalrfg.com. And brought to you in part by Genesis Sports Performance. Visit Genesis at genesissportsperformance.com. And by Ray Skillman Northeast Kia on Shadeland Avenue. And by High Gear Marketing at highgearmktg.com. This has been a presentation of High Gear Sports and IndianaHighSchoolSports.net.